All right, guys. All right. I'm gonna wait for you guys to come on in. I'm actually on a little bit earlier than I normally am. I'm normally on, you know, 8, 9. Generally, my time used to be early in the morning, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. So I'm starting to come on now as I catch these channels instead of just waiting. Sometimes I'll wait, but I'm just gonna come on in. So today we're gonna be talking about even exchange of energy. And what I personally mean by that. And so this is a channel I got not too long ago. I was just sitting at my ancestor altar, just just sitting there. Sometimes that's just we need to do. It's more like a meditation. Now that I think about it, I'm just sitting there thinking and drifted off, and this is what came through. So I was thinking about liberation and C-19 and all that, and this makes for the perfect metaphor of even energy exchange and how that works, because a lot of us don't really know or think about that. So it's like this. It's the law of either an even exchange of energy is simply put, you know, the law or principle, that is the principle of the Kabbalion, or the principle of the universe, of rhythm. One, the swing to here, to the, which would be my left or your right on the camera. The swing to the left is the swing to the right. No good, no bad, no evil, no because you've done this, you've done that. We're talking about extremities and polarities of energies. So just know that. So let's talk about C-19. How do we know that C-19 and these lockdowns wasn't caused, this wasn't caused on an energetic level, because you have people out here doing the magic and wanting things like this to come to fruition on a more specific end. But how do you know that the cause wasn't a whole nother country somewhere of people, a third world country fighting for liberation, and they finally got liberated? Because not everybody was locked down during these lockdowns. You must know that. So how do we know that the energy of that wasn't caused by the liberation of another country, which locked us down in this so-called, these variants in this virus? That's one way to look at an even exchange of energy. Is it swung this way for some, for, say, a group of people in a country where they found liberation, and the energy was so dense and they were probably locked down for so long that it caused almost the whole world to be locked down under the guise of C-19. That's how that happens. So it's like this. As And I was thinking about this the other day in meditation at my ancestor altar again. Think about it like this. Let's go back to high school. Um, there's always people getting roasted, getting talked about. Everybody got talked about. Where I'm from, what they call bullying in today's society, that's nothing, man. That's water. You know, that's nothing. But when you have people who are talking about someone, roasting them, and it was like, oh, look at your shoes, look at this, look at that. That What that energy does, that's a particular energy. What it's going to do, the even exchange of energy, it's going to spawn off. And this is what happens. Someone who comes in on the other level, and it comes on on the other level, say as another person who can really hit these people who are doing the roasting, and there's always the class clowns or whatever, who can hit them where it hurts, their trauma or something like that, because they spawned off the energy of that. You feel me? I was always seen as the necessary evil during those days, because I would spawn off just like they summoned me, because I was that person. that would come through, and I could talk with the best of them when I wanted to, and I can exploit. I'm a Scorpio, so I know how to exploit people's trauma easily because I see it, because I'm very quiet and reserved. So I notice it. So this particular topic, I'm like, okay, so that's how that happens. So when we're doing things, this is why in the book Power versus Force, where is it at? Y'all really got to get this book, Power versus Force. On page 68, I believe, it has the map of consciousness. Here it is. Finally found it. I remember last time I couldn't find it. So here's the map of consciousness. What's good? What's good? Hollywood Zeta 1111. So basically, it goes all the way. It starts at shame, which is the lowest vibration, and it has God view, life view, the level, which is shame being the level. It has the log or the frequency, the emotion, and the process. Okay, now this is what you can use this map of consciousness with the law of rhythm and the even exchange of energy. Now, it's ideal to be at 250 neutrality. Neutrality gives you above access to above and below. That's the crossroads or the heart chakra. Even though love is at 500 and joy is 540, and we we give those to the heart chakra. To me, it's neutrality because that's the crossroads. That's the most even side of things. You feel me? The most even side of things. It's new 50. It's 250 with its frequency. The emotion is trust. The process is release. Life view, satisfactory, and enabling. So you're neither here nor there. So I mentioned that to say, on that level, you have access to everything from that point of view. But you're supposed to climb that, this whole thing from the bottom to the top. It's easy on one level and it's hard on another level, because here our American society lives 200 and below, so we live below neutrality. So from courage all the way to shame is what our society lives mainly. So you have courage, pride, anger, desire, fear, grief, apathy, guilt, and shame, and none of those things are horrible. I remember Travis Magus mentioning when he was mentioning he did a live on this book like maybe a month or two ago, and he says if you're at guilt, at least you're not at shame. If you're at apathy, at least you're not at guilt. So the higher you are, at least you're not at that. But with the highest being enlightenment, and you release, and when you not release, when you get to the that high level of enlightenment, which is a 700 or 1,000 frequency, you'll probably understand neutrality because you've understood the lower than 200, because we come from a society that's what it is. We live in that. So I say that to say this. I mention that to say this. The swing to one side is the swing to other. And what's the difference between shame and enlightenment? So when you reach enlightenment and you fall down from that ladder, from grace, that fallen angel goes all the way down to shame. And when you reach shame, then it's only then when you can reach enlightenment. What hidden detriments of human behavior is that I got? Yeah, just get that book. I got it for like $10. I got it because Brother Panic was doing. He did. I was watching one of his old lives from years ago, during when 2020 hit, and I was watching one of his lives at that time. That was from like 2018, 2017, and he was talking about how love was like the frequency of like 500 or 508 or something like that, and he was reading from that book. That's where I got it from. Can't remember what lecture it was, but it's an older one. It's a really good one. I would cop the physical copy when you can. But the even exchange of energy is this. Like I said, when the swing to one side, it's a swing to the other. So when you look at your life and you look at certain things that you do, you know, if it doesn't come from a place of neutrality, and it doesn't always have to, which is harm neutrality is really harmony. It is the blend. It is the meshing of all of those energies above and below. That is what it truly is, at least to me. You have to see that there is an opposite energy that will swing through. So I was catching this channel last night, and I'm like, okay, so I get why Bobby was talking about why evil runs this world. Because when you do something so-called evil or whatever, that on that level, it's just whatever you make it to be. What's good, Lamaria? What's good? Then the opposite vibration, the opposite energy, that even exchange of energy, then when you do something evil, so-called evil to someone, then something good is happening to someone on the other side of the world, or somewhere in your vicinity, or however that goes. And when you do something good, when you help that, when you put that dollar in the in the tip cup as you pass that homeless man or woman, just know that someone is taking money out of their cup or something like that. You feel me? That's how you really see it. That even exchange of energy, that's how it flows. So when you understand these principles on that level, the principle of rhythm, this is how you can see how to run your life, how to get your life to be what you want it to be. So this is why getting into that realm of harmony is important, but also coming out of that realm of harmony. The higher up on the ladder you go, the farther the fall. And if you understand that, and you're not attached to that fall, you may never really feel shame, because you know how to climb all the way back up. Because the farther down at the that you are, then you look up, the farther up there is. That's just how this goes, the even exchange of energy. So that's what I came on to pop on real quick to talk about. It's like, do we really think about these things in our life when we do something? Do we think about the recourse of that action, whether it be one way or the other? So this is when people talk about karma or whatever. Karma is man-made from universal principles. What's good, Stray? What's good? What's good? It comes, karma, all that comes from universal principle, cause and effect, and rhythm. Those are the two main principles you can see that show up like karma. It comes from universal principle. So just know that. So if you're not really rocking with karma, you might be rocking with the actual universal principles. Because karma says, do unto others as you do to yourself, which is really the swing of one side is the swing to the other. And then when you unfold that flower, what was the cause of the swing to this side? Because the effect is the swing to this side. You get it? That's karma in a nutshell, really, on a just, on a spiritual occult level. When you break it down just very simply, I'm pretty sure it's more vast than that. It is simply what you make of it. There are other people who might go deeper. You know what I'm saying? I always saw karma as balance, what goes around. Yeah, I'd be confused. See, so basically, how Bobby and Panic said it don't exist, I was really fucking with that too. Now they were probably, you have to understand it on a deeper level, So you may have to sit with that on a deeper level. A lot of the times, while they say it doesn't exist, it's all this shit is in the mind. This whole realm is in the mind. So on a deeper level, I understand that it's what you make it. This illusion is what you make it. So basically, think about how people get away with doing such heinous crimes, and and have not been brought to justice. You can say it's, oh my god, these super cults in the world that we call them by certain names, and they have been deified by people. They call them the Illuminati or whoever you want to call them. the priesthood. What they practice, and a lot of the times not, is basically they know how to use the law of rhythm. So they know they can't really escape that swing, that pendulum hitting them in the fucking chest, or that so called karma for doing these rituals against children and different things like that. But what a lot of them do is they know how to control the swing of the pendulum, or instead of that pendulum knocking them across, the fucking, and this is a metaphor, across the fucking world, now that pendulum hits them and it's like just a little baby slap by doing certain things. And that is like by adding a certain type of energy onto it that slows it down. So this is where you'll see like the local Freemasons in your town doing, this is what they're for. The ones who don't know what's going on at the top of the Freemasons, they'll be like doing like car washes and picking up trash, and they'll be doing community service. They're serving. Their service helps these motherfuckers slow down their pendulum so it doesn't hit them. So they're working the law and rhythm. So now they're making it work for them. So now if they if you know how to swing that pendulum in your favor, now what was meant, now that energy that you set out that was meant to fucking cause you harm because you did, say you did certain things, now it can now work for you and help you prosper even more. But that can only go for so long from a certain aspect, and maybe it can go forever. This is all about how you think about it. So on that level, if you think about it from that level, does it really exist then? If I can control the swing of the pendulum by doing certain things, and this is all energy work. So that to me, that's a deeper level of why I think Bobby and Panic says it doesn't really exist, because they saw it as a trap. So you feel me? That's why a lot of these celebrities are philanthropists. They got to offset. You just can't be doing fuck shit over here. It's gonna slap you in the face. You have to, what I'm saying, slow that pendulum down, reverse it. So that's an even exchange of energy. You got to know how to work this shit. This is when it comes down to being an alchemist, or, hermeticist, whatever, a magician, a priest, a priestess. That's why Bobby said in the higher realms, once you leave this body, it don't matter what the fuck you did here on Earth. That's just the real. That's just the real shit. So now when you see all these, like I said, these celebrities, ball players, and whatever, always giving back, there's a multitude of things of why they do that. To slow that pendulum down, and also when you give, I talked about this on the giveaway. When you give, and when you bless somebody's life, when you bless it or whatever you want to say, that energy returns to you. It's just a fact. When you know these laws, it's just a fact. It's as simple as saying, I gave to these charities. You can go right now and give to charity and write that off on your taxes. Especially it works really good if you have a business that's really really prosperous, so that you're gonna have to pay a lot of taxes. So then what you do is you use that, you give to something. You give, these people, they give to, this and that, and then can write that off as a tax credit at the end of the year or a quarter. A lot of them, they pay, once you get big enough, you pay in quarters, business by the business quarter. So then there's that. So it serves a variety of purposes, but mainly on the energetic level, on the realm, in the realm of the unseen, to balance that which they have done. Remember, you cannot have dark without light. You cannot have light without dark. That's all it is. It's not evil or good. It's just, you know, there's what we perceive to be evil, and then there's the necessary evil. That's just what it is. That's the Joker and Batman. Some people see the Joker as the necessary evil and Batman as the evil, and some see it the other way around. That's just what it is. So this is just, talk to come on before I go get me some lunch. Finish doing orders and stuff, and got some, building the brand and stuff. So I wanted to come on, just do a video real quick. I love y'all. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for taking the time to stop by. And I'm gonna start coming on more. I got things in the works. Just know that. So I love y'all. Peace.